Hello everyone. Today is the day 5 of the training and here are some assignment questions. So the first question is what is the difference between Angular and AngularJS? So let us look into the difference. What are the differences? So Angular is a modern web application framework. It is built entirely on TypeScript. So what is AngularJS? It is a front-end MVC. MVC is a model view controller framework based on the JavaScript programming language. Angular, it utilizes a service controller architecture, and AngularJS follows MVC architecture, that is model view controller architecture. So the application, Angular application, it is dependent on the controller to manage the data flow that gets passed to the how which the data is which data is like passed to view. It is dependent, the application is dependent on the controller. AngularJS is based on the scope and controllers which are less reusable. So Angular excels in single page application and particularly in complex applications, and AngularJS it makes easy to maintain and test client side applications. And this Angular is more flexible and stable than AngularJS, and AngularJS it is more manageable and stable than Angular. So here are some the differences which I told. So the next question is difference between Angular and React.js. So let us quickly look at the difference between Angular and React.js. Angular architecture, it is a bit complex and it follows the component-oriented architecture. React.js architecture, it is more simplified. It follows a modern view controller architecture. Angular is written in Microsoft's TypeScript language, and React.js is written in JavaScript language. The latest version of Angular is 7.2.0 and the React.js latest version is 16.7. Angular supports bidirectional data binding, and React.js supports unidirectional data binding. This framework, Angular framework, is used in mobile applications and single page applications, while this React.js framework, it is used in web applications, hybrid apps, and native applications. So these were some differences. These are some differences which I explained. So the third question is list out at least 5 mobile application frameworks. So 5 mobile application frameworks are the first one is Native Script, React Native, Iconic, Corona, and Flutter. So these are those. So the fourth question is like, how do we decide what backend technology we should use in our project? So since the backend it is responsible for the way this how the site works, updates, what are the updates that the application is responsible is taken care by the backend. So choosing the right backend technology behind the app is the first and it is very most crucial step in this journey. So backend web develop it is related to business logic, which runs on the servers and communicates directly with the database, while giving the client side interface to like directly access the data. That is also called as server side development because the backend does everything that happens in the application. So like let us the technologies which are used in this backend are, the first one is the programming language what we use, and the framework what we use. The third one is like the database, web servers, and web services. So how do we, here are some backend like programming languages. Java. So these are the companies which make use of Java programming language. PHP. Here are some. Here are the companies like which makes use of this PHP languages, and so on. So how do we get to know that for this particular project and this particular application we have to go through Java. So Java, it is one of the backend technology. It can be used for Android, mobile applications development, website development, database connectivity, image processing, GUI based programs, networks, etc. So how do we know that for which project like we have to use a PHP? So PHP can be it can be based on the most operating systems like from Unix to Windows, Mac OS. In those cases, we are going to like switch to PHP. So JavaScript. How do we know that we have to use for this particular project JavaScript language? So JavaScript can be used for building different types of sites and softwares including websites, web servers, mobile apps, desktops, and application games. So for some presentations and etc., we can use JavaScript. How do we use a Node.js? So Node is a platform for building fast and scalable application. This backend framework suits for streaming web apps. So some live streaming or is going on. For that purpose we use a Node.js, and even for messaging application development like whatsapp uh, whatsapp Telegram. For that purpose also this Node.js is used. Kotlin. So the fifth one is the Kotlin. So Kotlin is one of the most promising programming languages to learn. It ranks among one of the top best loved assembly languages. Like Kotlin is very easy to understand and learn, quite effective in the way. Like however we code in our application, it is quite easy to understand. So for the beginner purposes also, and for the ones who are expertise in coding, even they can go with Kotlin. So the sixth one is the Python. Python is one of the fastest growing programming language. It is used for both web and desktop development. So just like Java, it is pretty straightforward, and it is accessible for those who are starting, like just starting to learn the coding, and for expertise levels also we can use Python. So the next one is the Ruby. It is an object-oriented. Ruby is object-oriented general purpose programming language. Ruby is designed as a language that would like help developers like to be more productive and enjoy with their work. So C hash is a programming language where .NET is the framework, and which it is used framework on which it is the language is built. So how do we decide what kind of database we should use in our project? So I have considered some key factors while like whenever you're choosing a database, you have to like look at some key factors before deciding. So here are some key factors like the availability of the data, what is the data shape, what is the budget of your project. Like while choosing a database, there are the some databases are quite expensive, some are little low in the low budget. So what programming language you are going to use, what are the rules and regulations while building a database. Some data modeling techniques also are used here. Consistency of the database, schema stability, what is the throughput, scalability, number of frequent users, data structures, and data quality. Here are some key factors on which we can decide like what database we should use. Some database names are like MySQL, Rubis, etc. are some databases which are available in the market. So these were the assignment questions. Thank you.